What's up, everyone? It is Joe from Team Dark Magic Attack. Just welcome back to the series of Can We Make Dark Magician Good? Today I'm just going to focus on some fusions. I know I've been kind of jumping around from spells and traps to affect monsters, but I want to do fusions. I want to kind of get these ones out of the way. Um, I think for the most part, some of the I'm going to say this and take it with a grain of salt. I think some of the fusions are half decent. I just think that out of terms of competitiveness, they're just missing like one thing really. And that's the thing with like Dark Magician. I think like Konami, they give them decent support, but then it's like one text or something short of actually being good. So I'm gonna start off with Dark Magician Dragonite. I think for the most part, like this card's pretty fine. This came out, I think like 2016, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and back then it was good for what it was. It was basically to protect Eternal Soul and a Dark Magical Circle. So then you could just, keep blowing up your Dark Magician, link them off, whatever, bring them back, things like that. Did we have links in 2016? Actually, I can't remember. But things like that, or if you'd be destroyed, you can bring him back. And he counts as Dark Magician on the field or graveyard. So, like, right there, that's a great effect. Opponent can't target spells or traps you control. They cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. So, he protects your back row, then Eternal Soul protects him. Um, Excuse me. I think the only thing I would fix out of this would just be instead of having him as a dragon monster, as a spellcaster. Like that, I think that would be the only thing. I mean, I wouldn't mind like a floating effect, like if he's destroyed by battle, you could set it at an eternal soul or something like that. But I think that's a little too much, honestly, for like when this came out. But if we wanted to make it better, maybe it would be like, oh, if this is fusion summon, grab what Secrets of Dark Magic or something like that. But yeah, I think the only thing is just making it a spellcaster would make it better. Because there have been times where if I'm not able to get into Dragoon somehow because red eyes are banished or something like that, but I am able to make him like it sucks because if like Secret Village is on the field, I don't want to put him out unless if I already have a Dark Magician or something like that. Um, but I mean, like it doesn't. I don't make him very often anymore. Just very niche situations. If I know someone's playing like a bunch of like back row removal or something. But I mean, on the plus side with him, he's a dragon. So if I do have Dark Magician and him on the field, I mean, you could just go into secrets, or if you have Tamias on the field or whatever. I mean, I just use Tamias, but you could make him send him to the graveyard and then just bring him back. So that's the only thing it really has going for it. Maybe since it is a dragon, or if it was a spellcaster, maybe it would have an effect of maybe adding a dragon to your hand or something. Because I mean that's Tamias. So I mean like something like that would be nice. Just when there's this fusion summon, have you can add one dragon to your hand or something like that. I don't know. I think something like that would be good, but yeah, like I said, for what it is, I think it's fine for the most part. Just that needs to be a spellcaster, and I think it would be really good card, honestly. Um, but moving on to Dark Calvary. Once again, I think because of Gaia, I think this is a decent card. I mean, it gains 100 attack for each spell and trap on the field and in the graveyards. So, like, end game kind of stuff, it's kind of okay. If it attacks defense position, it is piercing. And then when a card or an effect is activated that targets a card on the field, discard one card, negate the activation, destroy something like it has a negate. It gets a power buff and it does piercing damage. Um, I think it's fine. The only issue is, you need a warrior monster, and like once again, I get it. It's the gimmicky card. It's Gaia the Fierce Knight. So I mean, like that's the only problem with it. If we wanted to make it better, I mean, maybe we could have like a retrain of a Gaia that kind of fits in with Dark Magician, like not necessarily, a Gaia the Fierce Knight. Uh, I'm trying to think of a name off the top of my head, but something to do with like the magical knight or something like that. So then you'd be like a dark warrior, but has the name Dark Magician in the text. So then like you could search him out with like Soul Servant or something like that. I mean, I think that would be really the only thing for this. I don't know how much. I mean, like I think now with the Shining Sarcophagus stuff, like if you wanted to play him, like you could. That's what I'm once Dark Magician comes out in the Infinite Forbidden. I'm gonna try to run a little bit more of a Dark Magician esque kind of deal because I'm running warriors in there. I'm running dragons, other spellcasters. I don't think there's a machine uh, fusion for Dark Magician just yet, but I know they're coming out with Summon Skull in the V Jump promo. So like maybe down the road they do have a Dark Skull Archfiend Magician or something. Then you could play that in the deck as well. So yeah, like right now, like you can't really play this in Dark Magician unless if you want to play Ayatamias or if you want to play one of the Gaia cards. Like if you're trying to build like a anime deck or like a newer Yugi deck, like I have one of those, which is just has like the retrains of Dark Magician and the Magnet Warriors, and that's like for the YouTube videos. Like I don't take that to locals, but something like that, yeah, cool, whatever. I mean, but here, yeah, I would say just have let's make a Gaia monster, or not even Gaia. I mean, we could have if they would have made like Mirage Knight kind of like blend over with Dark Magician, because like for Dark Flare Knight, like that would be pretty baller. So and then just make like Dark Flare Knight like a retrain or something, just with Dark Magician. It's like oh when it's summoned, you can fusion summon it with Dark Magician or I don't know something like that. But I think if we could have a retrain with Dark Flare Knight, I think that would be great because then it would have Dark Magician in the text. Or even actually, we have Dark Magician Knight. Um, I believe Dark Magician Knight is a spellcaster, but part of me thinks he is. Whoops. Part of me thinks he is. Okay, no, he is a warrior. Okay, he is a warrior. So why don't we get a retrain of um, Dark Magician Knight, make him just like an effect monster. He can be searched with Soul Servant. And there you go. Then you have your warrior. Kind of have the same effect. Oh, when he's make him Dark Magician on the field, whatever. When you summon, you could pop something. Just keep the same effect or whatever. But just make him searchable and a free special summon essentially. So yeah, I think that would be the way to go. Is warrior monster, but let's retrain. I'm kind of giving you guys a twofer here for today, with this. But yeah, so we'll just go right into here. So Dark Magician Knight. This can be normal summon or set. Must be special summon with Knight's title, and can only be special summoned other ways. When this card's special summon, target one on the field and destroy it. So let's just swing on over, and I'm actually pretty excited. Just have him Dark Magician. Cannot be normal summoned, except tributing a Dark Magician on the field. I mean, like even that's kind of eh. But once again, have his name as Dark Magician on the field. So we'll just do that. At least if it was on the field, it would be nice because his name's still in the text, so you could still search it and then summon it. However, if there's a certain way, maybe banishing one spell card or something, or maybe like a Tamias thing. Pop a card on the field and then special summon him. There you go. Then you can do a pop effect on the field, and then he's Dark Magician, and then you could go into Dark Calvary. So I think that would be the best thing to do, honestly. Just get a retrain of this guy here and just make him better, essentially. And then you can go into Dark Calvary and then use him. Like I said, I think all in all Dark Calvary's half decent. I don't play him, but I think end game. He does pretty good. You can negate an effect and destroy it, and he gains 100 for spells in the graveyard, spell and trap. So that's good. Moving on to the Dark Magicians. This card got like a lot of hype when it came out. It looked cool. I mean, you have Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl. They got like some really souped up outfits, so like that's amazing. But like, how can we make it better? So it's Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl plus a spellcaster monster. So your whole deck's basically spellcasters. Once per turn, if a spell or trap or card effect is activated, except during damage step, draw one card. If it was a spell or trap, you can set it. Or if it was a spell or trap, you can set it. And if it was a trap or a quick play, activate it this turn. If this is destroyed, you can special summon one, both Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl. So the effect's just not super good, to be honest. For what it is, like, sure, whatever. But this should identify as Dark Magician and or Dark Magician Girl. In my opinion, just because it's literally them in the artwork. I mean, that's the first thing I want to get out of the way. It's just should be just considered Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl on the field. Once per turn, if a spell or trap card's activated. So I think instead of that, like it's like, if a spell, trap, or effect's activated, except during the damage step, draw one card. So I think and like to keep up with the meta or whatever, it's maybe negate and destroy. And then if you kind of like a dragoon, if you negate and destroy, then you get the 4,000. You get the 1,000 attack boost. So like something like that. So like when it activates a spell card once per turn, you can negate it, trap, whatever, or effect, negate it, destroy. If that card was destroyed, then you could draw a card. I think the drawing is nice. Just because like Soul Servant stacks the deck and things like that. So like, I think it's okay, but I think just like at a standalone, draw once per turn, like, sure, I guess, or even like if you have like circle and stack your deck and whatever. But I think the floating effect's fine. Dark Magician Girl and Dark Magician, like that's fine when it's destroyed. So I think I think if it had a negate and destroy, then draw, I think that would be a lot better. Or even if it had like a negate, destroy, and then if you do that, you can search for a spell or trap that mentions Dark Magician. I think if that was the case, like I would play this a lot more. I have one in the deck, and I just keep it just in case if I don't really have anything else to do. Like I don't go in playing and saying like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna make the Dark Magicians. It's usually like if I have like Dark Magician and Rod or something, play Rod, do whatever, and then if I can't link into Artemis or something, and I just need to kind of get them both in the graveyard, I'll use Secrets or Tamias or whatever to make them if I can't make anything else. So this is more of just like a last resort just to get them off the field to, use Eternal Soul, or if I use Eternal Soul, tribute a monster, a spellcaster to get Rod back. So yeah, I think all in all should be considered Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl. Should have a negate. At least a spell negate would be great. Spell or an effect. Make it a quick effect. And then if you negate and destroy, draw a card or search one. So I think that would be pretty fair, especially with like today's meta. I mean, you got cards that my friend's playing Kashtira, and you activate an effect, they can just banish or whatever. So I think something like that would be nice. Have a nice like quick play to do something like that. So moving on to Dark Magician, the Knight of Dragon Magic. This needs a Dark Magician plus a level 7 or higher Dragon or Warrior monster. If your opponent, if your monster attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage to your opponent. And then once per turn, when your monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the destroyed monster's original attack. This card is destroyed. You can special summon both Dark Magician and one guy, the Dragon Champion, from hand deck, extra deck, and or graveyard. So, first thing is it's not a spellcaster. So that's my biggest concern with this. I think this card's pretty good. Give me a second before everyone yells at me. So it has the piercing damage. Once again, Gaia. That's pretty cool. The burn effect's pretty cool. I've used this in Master Duel, and it's only once per turn. So like, if they have a monster in defense position, even if it's like 1,000 defense and you attack it with any monster, honestly, and they burn for say it's like 2,000 attack or 2,500. You burn, you can do piercing damage and then burn them. So that's pretty nice. The only super big problem is when this is destroyed, you can special summon both one Dark Magician and one guy, the Dragon Champion, from hand deck, extra deck, or graveyard. So this is where it's just like no one plays Gaia the Dragon Champion and their extra deck. The only way this would be good is if there was a way to attack with like all your monsters, pop him, so then when he's sent to the graveyard or destroyed, sent to the graveyard, whatever, then you could bring Dark Magician, Gaia the Dragon Champion, and then swing for game or something like that. If we could rewrite both Dark Magician and one Gaia the Dragon Champion, I think it should just be both one Dark Magician and one level 7 or higher Dragon or Warrior monster. Because I think with that text, then you could summon Timaeus. You could summon Dark Calvary if you wanted to. But I mean, you could summon. You have a more wider selection to choose from instead of just Gaia the Dragon Champion. Because like it's an old vanilla, no one plays them. Like even the newer fusions, they are not always considered Gaia the Dragon Champion. It's like when it's on the field or in graveyard or whatever. So like if that was a thing, then that'd be pretty cool actually. But no. So honestly, and going back to Dark Magician Knight, so if we could have a retrain with Dark Magician Knight, he's level 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, so if we could do that, have him, and then you can special summon Dark Magician Knight and so on and so forth. So I think this would be pretty cool. If we could have it, I think that would solve so many problems. Like even if this didn't change the spellcaster, but we still had that, I think I'd be happy with it. Just because it's a little bit more. It's something else. And once again, with like today's meta, no one plays Gaia the Dragon Champion. So, let me know what your thoughts are on all of these. I can't talk. I've been talking for a good while. Sorry, but I think all in all, we could, this was a good video and see what else we can come up with. Let me know what you guys think about these cards. Let me know what you think about Dark Magician Knight, like what his effect should be. If he does get a retrain, I would love to know what you guys could think about. How to get him out, how to summon him, what his effect would be. Would he be considered Dark Magician on the field or in the graveyard? Would he have a pop effect like this? If he summoned, could he search? Could he be like another Magician's Rod? Could he search for, I don't want to say an equip card because we don't really do equip cards anymore in modern Yu-Gi-Oh. But he has a sword, or maybe he could search for spell or trap. I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing here, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys think about all this. And I will catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'm almost to 100 subscribers. It's not a lot, but hey, man, I'm not going to complain. It's better than nothing. And thanks for everyone that watches. I appreciate it. I'll catch you guys later, and peace.